Welcome to the video that will take you on a fascinating trip to one of the most infamous penitentiaries globally, the Florence Supermax. Get ready for an illuminating and mind-blowing experience as we investigate the extreme security measures and demanding living conditions that render this high-security prison an enigma. The Florence Supermax has been devised to detain the most hazardous and ferocious felons in the United States, and through the years it's earned a notorious reputation as a symbol of America's severe on-crime methodology to criminal justice. Join us as we delve into the puzzling realm of the Florence Supermax, where towering walls, surveillance towers, and electronic detectors construct an imposing and intimidating milieu. Prepare to be submerged in a world of mystery and intrigue as we unearth the secrets and controversies surrounding one of the most infamous prisons globally. So relax, sit tight, and gear up for a captivating journey into the heart of the Florence Supermax. First, let's talk about the history of the Florence Supermax. It was opened in 1994 and designed to house the most dangerous and violent criminals in the United States. It's a maximum security prison that is designed to keep inmates isolated from each other and the outside world. The prison is located in a remote part of Colorado and is surrounded by high walls, watchtowers, and electronic sensors. Over the years, the Florence Supermax has gained a reputation as one of the most infamous prisons in the world. It's been the subject of numerous documentaries and news reports, and has even been referenced on pop culture, including in movies and TV shows. The prison's extreme security measures and harsh living conditions have made it a symbol of America's tough on-crime approach to criminal justice. Despite its controversial reputation, the Florence Supermax remains in operation to this day and continues to house some of the most dangerous criminals in the country. Why you wouldn't survive? The Florence Supermax is one of the most secure and harsh prisons in the world, and surviving there is not an easy task. Here are several reasons why you wouldn't survive in the Florence Supermax. Number 1. Extreme isolation. One of the most challenging aspects of surviving in the Florence Supermax is the extreme isolation. Inmates are confined to their cells for 23 hours a day, with very limited human interaction and no access to natural light or outside views. The only interaction they have with other people is when they're being escorted by guards or receiving medical treatment. The level of isolation is intended to prevent communication and coordination between inmates, as well as to minimize their exposure to outside influences. Inmates are not allowed to communicate with each other, and even communication with the guards is limited. They're only allowed to communicate through a small slot in their cell door, which is used to pass food and other items. The long-term sensory deprivation can have psychological consequences, which can be severe. Studies have shown that sensory deprivation can cause hallucinations, anxiety, depression, and a range of other psychological disorders. Inmates can experience a loss of sense of time, difficulty sleeping, and problems in memory and concentration. The extreme isolation can also lead to a lack of socialization and communication skills, making it difficult for inmates to adjust to life outside of prison. They may struggle to form relationships or engage in social activities, and they may have difficulty communicating effectively with others. Inmates in the Florence Supermax are allowed 1 hour of exercise per day, which takes place in a small enclosed area. This limited access to fresh air and natural light can cause physical and mental health issues. It can lead to vitamin D deficiency, which can weaken the bones and increase the risk of other health problems. In summary, the extreme isolation in the Florence Supermax is a significant challenge for inmates. The long-term sensory deprivation, lack of socialization, and limited access to fresh air and natural light can have severe psychological and physical consequences. Surviving in this environment requires a high level of mental and emotional resilience. Harsh living conditions. The living conditions in the Florence Supermax are notoriously harsh. The cells are small, measuring only 7 by 12 feet, and inmates have very limited access to personal belongings. The cells are made of concrete and steel, and inmates spend most of their day confined to them. Inmates are not allowed to have personal items that could be used for self-harm or escape attempts. They're only allowed a few books, magazines, and newspapers. They're also given basic toiletries, such as toothpaste and soap, but their use is strictly controlled. The food in the Florence Supermax is basic and low quality. Inmates are served meals through a small slot in their cell door, and they're not allowed to cook or prepare their own food. The menu is limited, and inmates often complain of bland or unappetizing food. Inmates are only allowed out of their cells for 1 hour of exercise per day, which takes place in a small enclosed area. The lack of fresh air, natural light, and personal space can cause physical and mental health issues. Inmates may experience weight gain or loss, muscle atrophy, and a range of other health problems. The harsh living conditions in the Florence Supermax can also have severe psychological consequences. The lack of personal space and privacy can cause feelings of confinement and claustrophobia. The limited access to personal belongings and activities can cause boredom and frustration. Inmates may also struggle with loss of identity and a sense of purpose. In summary, the living conditions in the Florence Supermax are designed to be harsh and restrictive. Inmates have limited access to personal belongings, basic and unappetizing food, and only 1 hour of exercise per day. The lack of personal space and privacy can cause physical and mental health issues, and the restrictive environment can lead to feelings of boredom and frustration. Surviving in this environment requires a high level of mental and emotional resilience. High-profile inmates. The Florence Supermax is known for housing some of the most dangerous and high-profile criminals in the United States. Inmates at the facility have been convicted of a wide range of crimes, including terrorism, murder, and drug trafficking. The presence of high-profile inmates can create additional challenges for those who are incarcerated at the Florence Supermax. These inmates often require additional security measures, which can impact the daily routines of other inmates. For example, if a high-profile inmate has been transported to court or to another facility, the entire prison may be put on lockdown. The presence of high-profile inmates can also create a tense and potentially dangerous environment. Inmates may feel threatened or intimidated by these individuals, and they may try to form alliances or groups for protection. This can lead to tension and conflict within the prison, which can be difficult for both inmates and staff to manage. Additionally, high-profile inmates often attract media attention, which can add to the stress and pressure of being incarcerated. The media coverage can expose sensitive information about the prison and its operations, which can compromise security and put both staff and inmates at risk. In summary, the presence of high-profile inmates in the Florence Supermax can create additional challenges for both inmates and the staff. These individuals require additional security measures and can create a tense and potentially dangerous environment. The media attention that surrounds them can also add to the stress and pressure of being incarcerated. Surviving in this environment requires a high level of mental and emotional resilience. No chance of escape. One of the most significant challenges for inmates at the Florence Supermax is the lack of any chance of escape. The facility was specifically designed to prevent escape attempts, and security measures are among the most advanced in the world. The prison is surrounded by multiple layers of fencing, with a lethal electric current running through each one. The outer fence is 12 feet high and the inner fence is 18 feet high. The fences are topped with razor wire, and the ground around the prison is monitored by motion sensors. In addition to the fences, the prison has a variety of other security measures in place to prevent escape attempts. There are numerous surveillance cameras throughout the facility, as well as guards stationed at various posts. The cells themselves are also designed to prevent escape attempts. They are made of solid concrete and steel, and the doors are made of steel with a small slot for food and communication. The windows are small and made of bulletproof glass. Even if an inmate managed to somehow escape the cell, the rest of the facility is designed to prevent them from getting very far. There are multiple layers of security checkpoints throughout the prison, each staffed by armed guards. In short, the Florence Supermax is virtually escape-proof. Surviving this environment requires acceptance of the reality that there is no chance of escape and the ability to adapt to the highly restrictive and isolating conditions. Strict discipline. The Florence Supermax is known for its strict discipline, which is enforced through a variety of means. Inmates are expected to follow a strict set of rules and regulations, and any violation can result in disciplinary action. Discipline is enforced through a combination of rewards and punishments. Inmates who follow these rules are granted privileges such as more phone time or access to certain activities. Inmates who violate the rules can have privileges taken away, be placed in solitary confinement, or have their sentences extended. The prison also uses a system of color-coded uniforms to enforce discipline. Inmates who have no disciplinary issues wear white uniforms, while those who have violated rules wear orange or brown uniforms. This makes it easy for guards to identify which inmates require closer supervision. In addition to these disciplinary measures, the Florence Supermax is known for its use of force when necessary. Guards are authorized to use non-lethal force, such as pepper spray or stun guns, to maintain order and enforce discipline. The strict discipline in the Florence Supermax can be challenging for inmates to adapt to, particularly for those who are used to more lenient prison environments. The lack of personal autonomy and the constant monitoring can be oppressive, leading to feelings of powerlessness and frustration. In summary, the strict discipline in the Florence Supermax is designed to enforce order and maintain control. Inmates who follow the rules are rewarded with privileges, while those who violate the rules are subject to punishments. The use of force is authorized when necessary to maintain order. Surviving in this environment requires a high level of self-discipline and an ability to adapt to a highly regimented routine. In conclusion, the Florence Supermax is one of the most secure and infamous prisons in the world. Its strict security measures and isolation make it a challenging place to survive, both physically and mentally. The types of inmates housed in the prison are some of the most dangerous and violent in the world, and any interaction with them could be life-threatening. Overall, it's safe to say that you wouldn't survive the Florence Supermax if you were sent there. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.